Welcome to Crushing Kayfabe. My name is Jason Garish. Thank you for tuning in. Got a few things to go over. A lot of stuff happened. News. Big one is what's happened to Tammy Sytch. She's had her bail has been revoked by the judge, so she's actually returning to jail. I'm thinking this is a good thing, unfortunately, because she's had so many opportunities to turn her life around and really has not shown any remorse for what she's done, unfortunately. So it's I'm thinking that this is the right thing, to tell you the truth. And they took their time, did it right. Same thing with the arrest and everything. They wanted to make sure that all of their bases were covered, and I don't blame them at all because Tammy's had so many opportunities. It sucks. It really does. But obviously the judge saw that she was a hazard not only to herself but possibly other people too, and I think he made the right choice in making that decision. Kind of speaking of train wrecks, Ric Flair is going to be returning to the ring for quote-unquote one last time. I know he's been training with Jay Lethal. It looks like he's going to be appearing in an event at the Nashville Fairgrounds, and be interesting, I guess. Really, I have absolutely no desire to see Ric Flair in the ring anymore, and I think he's just doing more and more to damage his legacy. I'm guessing he's going to get a good payday out of this, going to get a decent paycheck, and that's why he's doing it, probably. The guy just can't stay out of the ring. I mean, can he take bumps? Sure, whatever, but he needs to stay in the background. I think it's just, this poor guy, I say poor guy, but he's done everything to himself. I mean, destroyed his liver, destroyed his, finances, and, has really done a number on his legacy, so it's horrible. But yeah, he's still one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, so I'm sure that there'll be a draw. I didn't even know they were having any more wrestling events in Nashville Fairgrounds. I thought that was a done deal, but yeah, I guess they're having another event there, and Flair's going to be part of it, so keep an eye out for that, and let you know how that goes down. Let's see. Raw was a decent show last week. We had, Cody Rhodes versus Austin Theory, which was shaping up to be a really, really good match. These guys have some good chemistry in the ring, and either Cody has become that darn good, or Austin Theory is much better than I thought he was and expected him to be. He's so new to the game, and I really see why they're pushing him, and I see why McMahon has so much faith in him, because those guys could have really put on a clinic out there, and that was kind of surprising. And it was just surprising overall that they would put Cody Rhodes in the United States Championship match with him, but I kind of knew that going into it, this was going to be a fuck finish, which it turned out to be. Seth Rollins ended up screwing Rhodes going into the ring and disqualifying Theory. So you kind of knew that something was going to happen, because neither one of these guys could have eaten a loss at this point. It would have damaged both guys too much. So it's the only way that this could have possibly been booked, and it was good booking. It prolongs the feud with Seth Rollins. So looking forward to seeing him in Hell in a Cell, I should say. We had obviously we know Rhea Ripley is the third member of Judgment Day. There's a lot of speculation that eventually Finn Balor is going to join up with this group. Right now, obviously, he's aligned with AJ Styles, so they came for the save. Went to the ring when Rhea Ripley was defeated by, or I should say, Rhea Ripley defeated Liv Morgan. But I did see one event where Liv Morgan joined Finn Balor and AJ Styles in the ring, and oof, if they make her a part of this whole offshoot of the Bullet Club, I'm not sure that's going to be any good. Morgan's still so green. I don't know if she's ever going to be good. I hate to say that, but in some ways, she probably has the most to gain out of anybody in this whole thing, because she can kind of ride the coattails of Styles and Balor, and maybe Rhea Ripley can get a good match out of her. I don't know. That hasn't seemed to have been the case. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much a squash match that Ripley had against her. So this is something I'm gonna follow. Whether or not Balor is gonna turn his back on Styles, I mean, it could work. It could work, but then who would align with AJ Styles afterwards is what I'm wondering. Because they've really anybody that would have aligned with him, such as the Good Brothers or whatnot, is no longer in the company, and it makes sense right now with the reunion of the quote unquote Bullet Club, which obviously WWE doesn't own the rights to, so they can't use that. But despite the fact that Finn Balor actually created the Bullet Club, and both of these guys were at one point leaders of the Bullet Club, but yeah, we'll see where this storyline continues, because I've been hearing a lot of people saying that Balor is going to eventually turn on Styles, and I think he'd fit in with that group with as long as they go darker with this whole Judgment Day thing, because I like Damian Priest in this. I like Rhea Ripley in it. I like them teaming up with Edge. But as far as I'm concerned, Edge's promos have not been up to snuff with this whole thing. He needs to get darker. Initially, when he was going up against AJ Styles and taunting him, the promos were good. And they needed to keep doing stuff along that line. Keep going to that darker area. Because right now, he's kind of a cross between the Raid Edge superstar and possibly something from the Brood, and it's not working as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they're kind of dropping the ball as far as Edge is concerned, in my viewpoint. But yeah, it looks like the Lashley and Omos feud is probably going to continue. They Lashley crashed the VIP lounge. We had Alexa Bliss make her return, with a squash of Sonya Deville, which was kind of weird. I don't know if there's lots of rumors going on with Alexa Bliss. If she's not happy behind the scenes, whatever. She came out, she showed the doll, did her appearance, and squashed Sonya Deville. And be honest with you, I don't think Sonya Deville is going to be around a whole lot longer. I mean, we also had the tag team championship with Arcade Bro defeating the Street Profits, which if I never have to watch another Street Profits match again, they are so it sucks because they're so charismatic outside the ring, and they just bore me inside the ring. I don't know, they feel like a Wish version of Private Party at some points. So a lot of their matches are so paint by numbers. I mean, it's sad because they're good athletes and they're very charismatic. I've always enjoyed their promos, really, but they don't do a whole lot for me in the ring. And so we had the KO and Alpha Academy attack Ezekiel, so they're continuing that angle. Veer Mahan had another squash match. They gotta do something different with this guy. He's just such a two-dimensional character at this point, or I shouldn't even say one-dimensional character at this point. There's nothing going on with his character. They gotta do something. We had Ciampa beat Ali, Mustafa Ali, which is kind of weird. Seeing Ciampa on the main roster, I thought he was happy to stay in NXT. I don't know why they brought him up, but I always thought he's a real good wrestler. I like him a lot, but I always thought he looked kind of small compared to some of the main roster. And Bianca Belair defeated Asuka via disqualification because of interference by Becky Lynch. Some absolutely horrendous promos going on with Asuka. Wow. I'm not liking what they're doing with Asuka. I mean, I would have liked to have seen her come back as the kind of ass kicker and, that unstoppable force that she was in NXT or when she first came up to the main roster. And her promos are horrendous. I don't know if they're doing that for comedy's sake or whatnot, but not good. Just not good at all. What else we had? We had AEW Dynamite, obviously. Adam Cole advances in the Owen Hart tournament. Had a good match with Dax Harwood. This guy, Dax Harwood, CM Punk called him the wrestler of the year, I think, and he's highly underrated. The guy is really solid in the ring. He's got some great fundamentals down. Man, he's a great worker. Just both him and his teammate in FTR are really, really solid, really good. But I'm not real crazy about his promos, but he's been putting on some great matches, and the little tributes to the Hearts during the match were great too. Just showed a ton of respect. I really enjoyed that. What else we had? We had a stare down between Punk and Page setting up for their match. Let's see. We had Danhausen's wrestling premiere. Oh boy. Danhausen is a much better wrestler than this. I'm sorry. I really like Danhausen. I'm a huge Danhausen fan. I'm sorry. But he is actually a very solid wrestler. He obviously didn't get to show it there, but Hook had the save, so it looks like against Nice, so it looks like they're going ahead with the whole Hookhausen thing, which I think will be entertaining. I think this will add another dimension to Hook, and I think this will help him out. A lot of people are saying, well, who's going to be the ring general? Who's going to be the one that leads? Danhausen will be. I mean, obviously, I know that people aren't that familiar with Danhausen, but he's a very solid wrestler. He's been wrestling a long time on the indies, and he's very good. Despite the comedy character, previous to the comedy character, he was quite an intense wrestler, and he's a very good wrestler. So I can see him teaching Hook a lot, and I can see him adding some other dimensions to that personality. And I like this. I think this is going to be highly entertaining. I know a lot of people are kind of crapping all over this, but I really like that pairing. I think it's going to be a fun pairing. And of course we had Wardlow come out in Long Island. Of course he was going to get booed. MJF had a totally working the crowd, just totally unbelievably pro MJF crowd because of it being Long Island. I don't know why they did this signing like this in Long Island. That's kind of weird because you almost have to make MJF a babyface in there, and it's kind of weird to watch on TV. So I'm not sure why they picked to do that way, but we got the signing in Long Island. Man, they're building Wardlow up, and I really enjoy this build up of Wardlow a lot. I think he's going to be a huge star for them. And of course the rumors continue about MJF leaving AEW in, was it 2024? I think MJF's going to go wherever the money is. To be honest with you, there have been recent interviews with him hinting at it and so on and so forth. You cannot trust anything that comes out of MJF's mouth. I mean, he is always working it. He's always in character. He is so old school. Anytime you hear him on an interview, you cannot trust a damn thing that comes out of his mouth. I mean, how people could base anything off of what you say. Everything is a total work. For all I know, he could, despite all the rumors, he could be perfectly happy at AEW. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And here is a great example of a guy who does not have to hold the belt to be extremely popular and entertaining. You know, he's one of those guys like a Jake the Snake, like a Roddy Piper, that their personalities transcend the belt. And this guy's a gem. He's really. That's all I got to say about that. He's excellent. You know, AEW better hold on to him if they want to prosper. But we'll see how that goes. You know, we had a couple of hints of dissension with Christian Cage and whatnot. I'm kind of bored with the whole situation. I don't know if he's gonna turn heel or whatever, but we had Keith Lee come out at one point, and he looks a lot better. He looks like he lost a little weight. He looks like he's getting back into fighting shape. I don't know if just getting married and being on his honeymoon, he probably let things go a little bit, and you can't blame the guy. You know, he's enjoying life. You know, him and him are loving life, and if I'm not mistaken, she just signed with Impact. So kudos to him, and God bless him. You know, I hope everything works out there, and yeah, he's looking a lot better, looking a lot healthier, a little more ripped. I like that a lot, seeing that. Not just because it's aesthetically looks better on television, but because I'm concerned over the guy's health. He's had health issues in the past, and he's highly entertaining to me, and I'd like to see him do this for a long time. So that's my point. Has nothing to do with aesthetics. It's just I want to see the guy in the best health possible and be able to perform and go, because I'm a big fan. I like the guy. You know, a lot more storytelling this week too, which was good. It's something that AEW's been lacking, so I'm happy that they've been taking that route and telling the story, elaborating on stories a little bit more. So that's cool. Yeah, and of course our main event, we had Darby with Jeff Hardy. I honestly don't have a clue why they are giving these things away for free on television. Not doing these things on pay-per-views is absolutely beyond me. Because that is a match that I would pay to see on pay-per-view. You know, that's a dream match as far as I'm concerned. You've got AEW's version of Jeff Hardy, which is Darby Allin, facing off against Jeff Hardy, the original Jeff Hardy. So why they continue to give these things away is beyond me. And these two guys killed each other for what? Probably about 1 million viewers, maybe. You know, it's beyond me. I don't understand it, but they keep doing it, and I keep tuning in. So it'll be good to see those guys. Jeez, who the heck did Jeff advance in that? So he's continuing to go on. Oh, it was good to see Martha Hart too during this whole thing. It's, you know, she's been very camera shy throughout the years. Obviously, an extremely tragic thing that happened to her husband Owen. So it was good to see her up and making appearances at the event and helping to get the message of the Owen Hart Foundation across. So that was really good seeing. She looks good. She looks good for her age and whatnot. You know, and we had Rampage with some more Owen Hart Foundation tournament matches. Ruby Soho ended up beating Riho, which I'm happy about that. You know, Scorpio Sky defended the TNT Championship against Kazarian, former SEO teammate of his, and they talked about the whole thing about him wanting to bring respect back to the TNT Championship. Then eventually there was a little hinting that he was going to, because he was kind of working this like a babyface, very much working like a babyface, and then he turned on Kazarian at the end anyway. So I'm not sure where they're going with that because Scorpio Sky is hugely charismatic, and he's a guy that could eventually carry the belt down the road, not just the TNT belt, but the heavyweight championship belt. And why they would kind of flip-flop like that is beyond me. I almost would have rather seen them broken away from that group and then ended up having Scorpio Sky versus Ethan Page. It would kind of make more sense to me. But we had Bear Boulder versus Sean Spears. I don't even have to go into that. We had the controversial announcement of Hikaru Shida not being able to compete in the upcoming tournament, and she's going to be replaced by Chris Statlander. And I know there was a comment from Shida, which appeared to be bad-mouthing AEW, and she kind of rescinded that later, saying that she couldn't get physical, so was unable to travel back to make the appearance for the tournament. Personally, I think it was all storyline. I really do. Maybe she didn't understand perfectly, or wasn't communicated to her what the storyline was going to be. But I kind of think that was part of the storyline, or maybe she couldn't get back in time, and they worked it into a storyline. So either way, is she injured? No, but they kept her out as part of a storyline. So it could have been travel issues, could have been anything, but like I said, maybe there was some miscommunication between her and AEW. I don't know. But that pretty much wraps up a lot of stuff going on. I can't really think of anything else I want to talk about. Like give a shout out to Lucky Lady Candles. Check them out on Facebook and Etsy. Give a shout out to Then and Now Flea Market in downtown Trenton. Check them out. They're right in the square downtown. You can't miss them. They've got a big sign up. You'll be able to get some of my merchandise, and you'll be able to get some merchandise from my wife, which is handmade, and a lot of stuff that is new, some old, some handcrafted stuff from a variety of different vendors. So check them out. Then Now Flea Market, downtown Trenton, Tennessee. And tell them Crushing Kayfabe sent you. And in addition to that, I'd like to give a shout out to ourselves, crushingkayfabe.com, crushing with a K. And from there, you can go to our various social media sites with links off of there. And check us out on Patreon, patreon.com. Do a search for Crushing Kayfabe, and for just $1 a month, you can help support the show. You can have all the audio ad-free, and like I said, for just $1, you can help keep the lights on, keep us doing the show. So that's pretty much about it. I'd like to, once again, as every single week, send out thoughts and prayers to Ukrainian people. Please continue to support them via either UNICEF and or Red Cross, or any of the legitimate organizations out there that are helping the people and supplying them with much greatly needed supplies. And besides from that, thank you everyone for tuning in, and God bless. Thank you.